It's time I told the truth on what I walked away with when I had 5,000 shares of ULTY. But before I talk about that, I'm going to talk about all the portfolio moves that we made today as well as yesterday. And if you're new to the channel, my name's Isaiah, and I try to generate income through selling cash secured puts, covered calls, credit spreads, and finally dividends from some high yielders. So let's first go right into our trade history. Full transparency, as always, I like to sell options. I think option selling is the best way to generate income, but always remember, guys, my trades are my opinions, and they should never be taken as financial advice. So we're in our trade history here. MSTU, $1.50 call. We sold a covered call, 3 of them to be exact, on MSTU for $1.50. That means we're agreeing to sell 100 shares per contract at $1.50 a piece. Just because we agreed to do this, we got paid $30. That's why I love covered calls. Buy a stock that you like, sell covered calls on it to generate more income from it. MSOS, short put roll. So we sold a cash secured put on MSOS. That means we're agreeing to buy the stock for a predetermined price. And rather than buy it this Friday, I decided I want to roll it out till next year, till January of 2026, which is literally next month. That's crazy to think. And I got paid $26 just to agree. I'm still agreeing to buy it. All I did was change my expiration. So that's pretty awesome. And then on Monday, we sold a covered call again on Rumble, the $7 strike. And we rolled our FCEL, Fuel Cell Energy, got $20 there, and Peloton, $40 from there. So we didn't open anything new. We didn't buy any new positions option-wise. We just collected income off of open positions or stocks we own. So all in all, that's 126, 156, about $182 collected in option premium. Pretty awesome. Like I said, we didn't open anything new. We just rolled positions or sold covered calls on stocks we already own. Let's talk next about the dividends that are hitting the account. So $141 in from TSYY today, and we're going to talk about that a little bit more in depth here in a minute, and $112 from COYY. So that's just over $253. Awesome dividend payouts. Those will hit the account tonight, but I prefaced it a little bit a minute ago. I've already used this income, and I'm going to talk about that here in 1 minute. We will also be getting dividend payouts from ULTY and YBIT. Those will come on Thursday and Friday. So those will add to our weekly payout in dividends as well. But what we did in terms of purchases, we took that income that we generate from selling options and some dividend income. And as you can see, I'll go through here. I have a lot of open options. I love selling options. So we'll get through that to the stocks I actually own, which is a much smaller list. So now let's take a look here. TSYY. As you can see, we have 1,000 shares. That was my goal. I wanted to get us to 1,000 shares, and we are there now. I've been buying shares from income from dividend payouts, distributions, as well as income generated from selling puts. If you look in your the trade history we just saw, you're going to see these exact amounts here in our history. There's the $30 from rolling a put, 24 from another roll, 253 from the dividends that'll hit tonight. So already using that money got me to 1,000 shares. Our goal was to get to that 1,000, and then we'll start taking the income from here and investing it into other positions. My average cost is $7.23. I don't believe it'll ever get back to $7.23 in my personal opinion, but I'm going to try to generate the income as much as I can along the way. The next goal now is to get COYY up to 500 shares. We have 408. And next week, we will take both of the TSYY distribution and the COYY payouts and put them into COYY to get us closer and closer to that 500 share goal total. it won't be but a couple more weeks until we hit that goal. All along the way, I am trying to do small daily buys on PDI. I have 569 shares. I want to get 1,000 shares by the end of March 2026. And I bought 2 shares today. So small daily buys, like I said, $36 in it. And we are over halfway to that goal. We're at 569 shares, 0.46. You round that up to 570. So we are getting extremely close. The Cornerstone funds, I have 1,300 shares of each of those. I want to get that up to 3,000 by the end of next year. And very shortly, I am going to start investing into one of 3 Round Hill funds in my Premium Generals group, which I'll talk about in a minute here. I do have a poll in there on which of the Round Hill funds I should buy into based on select 3. So whichever one of those 3 gets the most votes, that's where I'm going to start investing after TSYY gets their 500 share go total, because we just hit the 1,000 shares for TSYY. So it's time to continue to spread and grow and create more income generating funds. Combine that with option premiums, ultra high yielders, and some stabilizing funds like the Cornerstone ones, as well as PDI. We are continuously generating income while still also having some stabilization in the account. So with that being said, it is time we talk about ULTY. And like I said, at one point I had 5,000 shares. To be honest, I must have had 5,005, but nonetheless, I had 5,000 shares of ULTY. And last night, I counted out, I exported my trade history in the reports here. I'll show you that. Where is our reports and statements? Reports. I just downloaded January 1st to December 1st. That's when I started purchasing ULTY. I bought heavier into March. And so it's time to talk about what I walked away with or how much I lost. But before I do that, I want to give a quick shout out to the wonderful Premium Generals. This is an exclusive group where I post private content such as educational videos on how to sell cash secured puts, how to sell covered calls, how to do credit spreads, how to do debit spreads, as well as private portfolio updates. Anytime I make a trade, any moves I make, any moves I'm going to make, I ensure the Premium Generals know first. I also have polls in there asking, investment ideas, things like that. I try to post videos in this channel group here 4 to 6 times every single week. I think I have over 70 videos in there currently. So a lot of great stuff. And on top of that, you get to be featured in every single video. You'll pop up here, your name, your beautiful face. So if you want to be a part of that, it's $10. Come check it out. Watch all the videos. Stop on by, have some fun, and let's all continue to grow together. And with that being said, let's jump back into the video. Okay, we are back here in the channel and the account here. Let's take a look at ULTY. So they did their reverse split, 10-1. I went from my 505 shares down to 50. They announced their distribution today. I think it was like 58 cents or something. So, we're going to get paid about 27, 28 bucks, somewhere in there. We were getting around $30 a week, so it's already starting. No. But let's talk about ULTY for a minute. So ULTY, I ran the report last night, and I was going to show the report, but honestly, on the phone, it makes everything too small, so I'll just summarize what it said. So at the end of it, all said and done, if I were to not change anything and still own the $2,000 worth of shares that I have, I would be down $1,900. So technically, I am currently down $1,900 on ULTY. If I were to sell my position right now, you see the market value is $2,000. I would technically profit $100. So for an entire year of investing into a position, getting about $20-some thousand invested into it. If I were to sell now, I would profit $100. So I should be extremely grateful because I've seen a lot of people on YouTube that were heavy margined and overextending themselves. And, I never want to be an advocate for margin. I do use margin, but definitely not on funds like these. I use them on more stable ones, like PDI and things like that. But anyway, I am grateful that I didn't take a huge loss. But as I was telling the Premium General Group a little bit earlier today, I view it as a bad investment, and I need to hold myself accountable there. So that's why I'm doing it here in the public forum. I overextended myself into this position, and I should not have done that. I walked away with a $100 profit after 12 months of investing, and again, grateful that I didn't technically walk out behind, but it's one of those things where if I would have put that in any one of the cornerstone funds, PDI, or used it to sell options, the account value would probably not just be $71,000, it would probably be over $80,000. And that's the reality of the situation. If you watched my video from Saturday, I did show a YouTube clip from last year. I started posting on YouTube about a year ago, and the account value was at $45,000. So we've grown the account by about $27,000 in a year, and that's in spite of ULTY really bringing us down there with $100 gained in a year. So I should have done better. I should not have over-leveraged. But no matter how many years you invest for, you still learn some lessons. And this is definitely one where I'm making sure I'm holding myself accountable, not over-leveraging into any one position regardless of the hype. And honestly, the only reason I walked out ahead is I got lucky. I happened to buy heavier in March when it was lower compared to when it was higher in July and August. So I literally got lucky. And that's just not a way that I like to invest. I need to be consistent with my strategy of selling options and investing that income into a various amount of funds to grow the account rather than trying to go heavy into something that I see paying a huge premium, knowing the share price is going to decrease, which it did, but then it started to decrease so fast that the payouts were not keeping up with it. So I still have those 50 shares. Again, that was 505 shares before Monday morning, but I'm probably just going to hold those, continue to get that $20-some a week from ULTY. I'll take it and I will invest it into other funds. I do not plan on buying one more ULTY share. Just my personal opinion. Again, guys, I can't stress it enough. Don't ever make a move based off of what I'm doing. But with that being said, it's a good lesson to learn, and we'll continue to invest in other income generators using option income. So we're using income to grow more income, to grow more income. So with that being said, I appreciate each and every one of you, especially if you managed to make it this far in the video. You are fantastic. Help me out. Subscribe to the channel. Let's try to get to that 5,000 subscriber mark, and I'll see you in the next one.